Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be ranking 15 Backrooms levels based on your chances of surviving in them. Obviously, with S tier being the most survivable and F tier being the least. But without further ado, let's go ahead and begin with this level with its mono yellow wallpaper, old moist carpet, and a constant humbuzz from the fluorescent lights. Is quite possibly the most well-known Backrooms level of all time. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's the easiest, nor necessarily the hardest to survive in. Now, luckily for you, this level doesn't contain a single entity that we know of. So that automatically increases your chances of survival. However, besides from the random almond water or occasional chair, you're not actually going to be finding anything that could help you survive in the long run. So, and then not only that, you also have to deal with the constant hallucinations, crazy stuff. I mean, I think you know what a hallucination is, all right? But put all of that together, and it becomes pretty clear on why we got to put level 0 in B tier. But if you wander far enough, you might just find yourself ending up in this next level resembles an expansive industrial warehouse with scattered pipes and machinery lying about its concrete floors and walls. Well, yes, to be fair, that might not sound too pleasant at first, but once you actually wander around and get a good look and gander at this place, you're going to realize it's not actually that bad. So not only is it possible for you to find puddles, just random puddles of almond water here, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend drinking, but almond water is essential to your survival, so do what you need to do. But you could also find random crates that can sometimes contain useful supplies like flashlights or maybe a radio or like hammer. I mean, stuff like that, just supplies, random supplies. And not only that, but this level also offers a consistent and somewhat reliable source of electricity that you and the other wanderers can use at any time, mostly any time. Now, that's good on its own, but if you're smart and you're paying attention, there's ever wanderers here, all right? Whole colonies, whole civilizations, hence the name the Habitable Zone, which is going to be really good for you if you're trying to survive the entities. Sadly, this level does have entities, such as the clumps, the hounds, duelers, smilers, and skin stealers, among others, lesser known, lesser threats. Now, obviously, entities on their own are going to be a bit of a problem, but they're exponentially more of a problem during an event called the flickering, alright? The flickering is a phenomenon where every single natural light located on this level randomly turns off, which obviously causing complete and total darkness for a time period, all right, no matter what. And during that time, it's when those said entities I said earlier, they begin lurking about, attempting to track down and hunt their potential prey, which almost always includes you. However, with all that being said, the positives do still outweigh the negatives. So for that reason, we're gonna have to firmly place this level up in A tier, all right? Especially after considering its alternatives. This level is essentially an infinite array of narrow utility tunnels and maintenance shafts, alright? You might be able to find some junk that's lying around, but to be honest, none of it's going to be too useful. And not only that, but you're also not going to be finding a lot of food or water here. So, obviously not helping you survive. However, what else is the other thing that's not helping you survive are the entities that live here, such as smilers, death moths, clumps, hounds, facelings, skin stealers, growlers, and Jerry. Which Jerry can also be found on level 1, but we're going to include him here. Now, this place is mostly used as like a transfer point, you're trying to you go to this level to get to other levels. Even that's what the hub's for, not the kind you're thinking, you freak, but a different, like the Backrooms hub. But I mean, if you're trying to survive here, I mean, you're not going to be doing too good. I mean, but how it is used as a traveling hub, so I'm gonna be honest, it can't be that dangerous. So we're gonna have to put it in C tier, all right? We're gonna have to put this level in C tier. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You are not surviving this level, all right? First off, it's a 6-mile long hospital like hallway, and if you're not using freedom units, it's like 10 kilometers, give or take. But, anyways, it's a long hospital like hallway that you need to run as fast as you can, all the way down. Like, you need to run as fast as you physically can till you get to the end of the hallway if you want to survive. Because hundreds, and I mean hundreds, maybe thousands, I don't know, hundreds of entities are chasing you down, and they are not going to stop until they get you. All right? They are not stopping. So you need to run as fast as you can for 6 miles, 10 kilometers. As fast as you can, all right? In a dimly lit, well, not dimly lit, like a red hospital. I mean, it's the level is literally called Run for Your Life. And I know for a fact, well, I mean, okay, maybe not a fact, but I know there's no way you're gonna be like, you have to run as fast as you humanly possible for 6 miles straight. No breaks, no nothing. It's not looking too good for you, all right? I'm gonna be honest, there's absolutely no way you're surviving this level. Maybe, like, there's like a 1% chance you might survive this. But it's called Run for Your Life, and I don't think you can run for 6 miles, unless I'm just stupid. Unless my perception of length is all wrong, which you can go ahead and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But anyways, I don't think there's a way, I don't think you will be surviving this. So we're going to have to obviously put it in F tier, alright? But let's get back on track with, in like numerical order, with this level, this next level of the Backrooms could be described as a labyrinth of old maintenance halls and utility tunnels that are filled with electrical machinery. I feel like, I swear I just said that. I feel like I've said that before. I don't know, it's probably just a burning memory. But anyways, on this level, you can find some almond water and maybe even some rations, but to be honest, that's not going to be your main focus here. Your main focus is going to be the Wi-Fi this level provides, all right? It's not no shitty 1-bar Wi-Fi. No, no, no. This is, in this level, you will be finding the best Wi-Fi out of any other level on the Backrooms that we know of. So, essentially, this level is the perfect place for all you doom scrollers, all right? The perfect place if you somehow have a phone with you and could connect to like TikTok or Instagram, whatever. I don't know. Maybe, you know, have a TikTok live. Oh, I'm in the Backrooms. Whoa. I don't know. Up to you. Maybe you're watching this right now in the Backrooms. That would be crazy. Go ahead, comment down below if you're watching this in the Backrooms. I'm going to get back on track. Anyways, it would be perfect if the level didn't have a bunch of dangerous machinery that's always just running autonomously and can sometimes explode. So that's obviously not good. Always running and could possibly explode when you're walking by it. Not good. And then obviously you have the entities such as hounds, facelings, death moths, skin stealers, dolers, smilers, clumps. And yeah, the same old, same old. However, those same entities have been known to constantly attack and destroy outposts and colonies that are found here. So yeah, if you're trying to live here, there's not much places for you to already go live. You're gonna have to set it up yourself. Also, what I forgot to mention is that this level sometimes has a damp and thick air, which, I mean, in survival situations, damp and thick air, I don't know, maybe if you're a freak, you like that, but a normal person, if you're trying to survive, that's not too useful, especially because you can't breathe. So, I don't know. Overall, this level is just gonna go in C tier, alright? Because you might get, actually, yeah, we're gonna put it in C tier. Because you might die, you might not. Who knows? This level resembles an endless commercial office building, hence the name Abandoned Office, level 4. Now, if you find yourself ending up on this level, go ahead and consider yourself extremely lucky. Just like how I would consider myself extremely lucky if you went ahead and subscribed. Anyways, why is this level lucky? Well, I'm glad you asked, John. Not only is this level completely devoid of all entities, but it also has vending machines. And we all know how essential that is to surviving, alright? Going on a long road trip, you don't have your vending machine, you're cooked, man. You're cooked. Vending machines are really important. Now, sadly, these vending machines don't contain any honey buns for you to go ahead and chuck at some homeless people, but they do contain some almond water and other miscellaneous items that could help you survive, so somewhat useful. Somewhat useful. However, not only is that good, not only does it have vending machines and no entities, but this level is also a home to countless outposts and colonies, alright? So, countless places for you to go ahead and set up shop here. And you can just set up shop anywhere because there's no entities. You're already set. So, obviously, if you haven't caught on yet, this level is pretty much perfect. And so it's going to go in S tier. I mean, we all saw that coming. It's obviously going in S tier. But what about... I really like the 20s and 30s aesthetic going on in this hotel, and the constant jazz music in the background really helps in bringing it all together. Just a warning though, the music can get annoying after a while, and it might cause some hallucinations, but I mean, that's what anything is going to do to you, really. You can't blame the hotel. I also can't seem to find much food or water here either, but that could just be due to me being stupid or human error, so I'm not going to take points off in the rating here. There also doesn't seem to be any people here either, so I can't ask for assistance, but it also really brings down the waiting times for all the services the hotel provides. I did notice, instead of humans, I did notice some strange creatures wandering about, such as hounds, skin stealers, and death moths. But that's not even the strangest part. The strangest part was this man in a suit with an octopus for a head, and he offered me a job of all things. I'm going to assume that he offered me it because the place was understaffed, but I mean, who knows? That's not taken away from the experience at all. Who knows? It was really delightful. He said he's going to sell my soul or something like that. Overall, this hotel was really nice, and I'm glad that I stayed here. But for my rating, I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm still going to give it a 5-star, especially due to the experience I had. D tier. I'm going to be honest with you. If you find yourself on this level, your future's not looking too bright. Mostly because this level's pitch black. Alright? Essentially, the landscape is like a barren tundra. Like a very, obviously very large, sprawling, barren tundra, but it's always pitch black. No matter what you do or try. No matter what, it's always pitch black. I mean, nothing you do will change the fact that it's pitch black. Alright? If you have any and all forms of light, will automatically stop working, alright? Whether it's electronics, it's gonna break, it's gonna stop working. If it's fire, it's gonna automatically get extinguished. Nothing. There's no sources of light here. It's very, very black. Essentially Detroit. Don't get me canceled, please. But anyways, you might think that all the blackness would make it, okay, that the darkness would make it difficult for if you're trying to find resources, but you'd be wrong because there's barely any resources here in the first place, alright? Just like there's barely any people either. So no resources, no light, and no people. There is plenty of hallucinations to keep you company, but I mean, just stay up for like 3 days straight and you can experience that too. You don't really have to travel here to experience that. But also, there's no entities here, so it's literally nothing. It's literally like the middle of nowhere, freezing cold, always dark. So the no entities part is really going to help this. I mean, it was going to be put in F tier, but because there's no entities, we're going to move it up into E tier. It's going to barely nudge its way up into E tier. But I don't see, you can't even see what you're doing. There's like rocks and stuff everywhere that could hinder your survival. So E tier it is. Do you think you could survive being stranded in a normal ocean? Maybe. But do you think you could survive being stranded in a near infinite ocean that's completely devoid of all life or resources? Yeah, I don't fucking think so, pal. I don't think you're surviving. All right. I mean, this level's literally just a massive ocean that you're now stranded in. And I mean, obviously, there's nothing in the ocean except for obviously water. And it goes on essentially forever. So I mean, come on, use your brain. You're not gonna be surviving here for long, especially after you meet this level's only entity, and it's obviously not obviously. It's called the thing on level 7, which I mean, level's called level 7, so kind of lazy name, but whatever. I mean, essentially just a giant, large creature, huge creature in the waters that you might encounter, and it might kill you. So, yeah. Pair that with the fact that there's nothing here. There's nothing you can use here that will help you survive. It's just an empty ocean. Pair those two together. Yeah, you got to see why we're thrown as an F tier. You're not getting saved, and you're just stuck there forever. The only way to escape is to swim down or maybe find some kind of exit far off. To put it simply, this level is just an extremely large cave system with a bunch of entities thrown into the mix. Now, I don't think I need to explain this to you, but caves are really, not really, they're pretty dangerous on their own, alright? Especially if you don't know what you're doing, which is why there's countless deaths and missing persons reports, all that jazz, relating to caves. They're not really a walk in the park for people who don't know how to trek into caves and stuff, and I'm pretty sure you don't know how to trek into caves or stuff. Because you'd probably be doing that instead of watching this video. So, this level has entities, and it has a lot of them. Alright, we of course got the Smilers, the Skin Stealers, the Hounds, the Crawlers, the Death Moths, and the Clumps, you know. But this level has some unique entities that I really want to go in depth on. Not like in depth, but you'll see. Alright, first off is the Camo Crawlers. And these guys can change their skin color to match the surrounding environment. Like Michael Jackson, don't cancel me. While they crawl around and hunt you down, which is why they're named Camo Crawlers, alright? Next up, though, are the Paralys, alright? And these are snakes that, long story short, crawl up your bum and lay eggs in your brain. Me next, I'm stop. Alright? I mean, that on its own is pretty bad. It also, like, can control your body and your movements. Like, you're still alive, and they're, like, controlling you, and they like to crawl around in your skin and stuff. So, no bueno. Not good. Alright? And then also, there's another group of entities that I'm going to tell you about. And they are called the Arachnids of level 8. Arachnids of level 8. Alright? And it's essentially spiders, just in general spiders, that can range from the size of your average house spider to the size of your average car. And they're also highly venomous. So essentially, the Arachnids of level 8 are just your average Australian's wet dream. In all fairness, just a walk in the park for the Australians. The entities alone are going to bring this level down to D tier. But after adding in the fact that you have to deal with them in a dark and damp cave, and I'm pretty sure you don't know how to survive normally in a cave, yeah, it's obvious why this level has to be placed up in E tier, alright? Well, not up in here, down in E tier. It's obvious that it has to go in E tier. Can't go nowhere else. But what about... Be honest. Do I really need to explain this one? It's literally a Backrooms level that's filled with an infinite number of pools. How are you supposed to not survive this? Explain to me how. Alright? There's no reason why you shouldn't survive this. But why are the pool rooms the GOAT? Well, first off, for every John out there that's wondering why, first off, it doesn't have a single entity. It's completely devoid of life. No entities, no people. No problem, alright? And then, not only, the water in the pools are always at a lukewarm temperature, alright? They're never changing. Always lukewarm. We might get like a little warmer if you like take a little piss or whatever, but we don't gotta talk about that. Always warm. Always lukewarm. And there's like stuff in the water that like it has an effect on your body where like it naturally relaxes and relieves your body. So essentially it's like a hot spring. in the pools, and you could just chill there as long as you want. It's obviously going in S tier. There's no way you're not surviving the pool rooms, and if you do, how did you even make it this far? If you're not surviving the pool rooms, then every level has to go in F tier. This level, like the name suggests, is an infinite array of suburban housing. It's dimly lit, almost as dark as level 6, almost, but it's very dimly lit, and it's dimly lit by the scattered streetlights that you can just find walking around, so it's pretty damn dark. Almost as dark as level 6, which, if you remember, pitch black. So, not good. It's not good at all. It's pretty dark. And you can't see. And this level has a lot of dangerous entities, alright? Obviously, you have the Smilers, the Skin Stealers, Death Moths, and Hounds. But you can also find some more unique entities, alright? One of them is called the Neighborhood Watch. Now, why are they called that, you might ask? Well, it's probably because their body is a giant fucking eyeball. And they can usually be found patrolling and watching the neighborhood. Hence the name, the Neighborhood Watch, because they're always watching and patrolling. Okay. They're also extremely dangerous, so it'd be smart to stay away from them. Just, if you see a giant eyeball with red tentacles, don't be freaky. Just go away from it. It's not worth it. There's also another entity that looks like it. It's called a Watcher, and it's just a giant levitating eyeball. So, no freaky tentacles. And obviously, they're also extremely dangerous. Now, due to all the entities on this level that make it extremely dangerous, there's no colonies or outposts, so nowhere for you to seek shelter. Well, that you know of, as of now. So, not really many places to seek shelter in, except for the houses. That's the only thing saving this level, are the houses that are found. I mean, it's a suburban neighborhood. There's obviously going to be houses, right? Some of them you can enter, some of them have furniture, all that jazz. So, if you're getting chased by an entity, you might be able to, hop in a house or whatever. But I'm going to be honest. The houses are going to stop this level from going in F tier, and instead put it in E tier. This level is pretty simple to explain, and the picture that was previously shown, essentially, it sums it up. There's not much to explain. The main reason it's included on this list is because 1, I needed 15 levels, and 2, it's very popular. The image is very popular in the liminal space community, whatever, so I have to include it. But if only it was that popular on the wikis or the videos I was using, because there's nothing on this level, alright? This level has no entities and no known outposts or colonies. It's literally just, it looks like this, and you're stuck here and go through windows to move on. It's just like a mid-level. It's cool looking, but it's just a mid-level. And there's nothing here for you to survive, nothing here that's gonna harm you, so it's gonna put it in C tier, alright? It's just a C tier level. It's literally just a mid-level. It's gonna go in the middle. This level is basically a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party, but on nightmare fuel. Alright, it consists of multiple rooms and hallways that are filled with birthday decor and related items. Now, sadly, this level isn't actually fun, due to the entities that roam the halls and are called the party goers. Alright? Let me break it down for you, Mark. The party goers are entities with skin that's usually yellowish tone. They can be different colors rarely, but they're usually yellowish. And they always have a reddish smiley face that's obviously located on their face. You've probably seen them before. Now, not only are these party goers extremely aggressive, but they are also extremely intelligent. Alright? They hunt in packs. And not only that, they're also capable of setting up traps to try and catch you. And I promise you, you do not want them to catch them, alright? Because they're going to do one of these two things to you. They're either going to turn your rotting dead corpse into more cakes and cupcakes for the so-called parties, which, not good. You don't want to be a cupcake. Unless you like EDP. You don't want to be a cupcake. Or if they're going to use their like suction claws on their hands and they're going to infect you with something that turns you into one of them. So you're either getting turned into a cake or cupcake or getting turned into one of them if you get caught. And the fact alone, they are extremely intelligent and they are extremely aggressive, all right? They're intelligent enough to make traps, all right? I've read somewhere that they have the intelligence of an 8-year-old, which I don't think that's true. I don't think 8-year-olds can set traps. Well, maybe. I don't know. They're really smart. And packs of those things hunting you down in an area you have no clue what you're doing in. Not good. You're not surviving this one. I'm not going to lie to you. You're not surviving this one. So we're going to have to put it in F tier. Level fun, F tier, you know. Kind of rhymes, kind of makes sense. This level resembles an infinite library, even though it doesn't contain any actual books. It does, however, contain some old vintage style computers from like the 80s or the 90s. But they don't work, so they're not going to be much use in your attempts at survival. However, contrary to the namesake, this level isn't actually the end of the Backrooms, and is merely just a trap level that creates the illusion of it being the end of the Backrooms. How? Alright, so after a while, you may begin to experience something known as a fake reality, alright? Or you may like stumble upon a fake reality, and these fake realities are essentially just areas inside of this level that are like highly personalized, highly accustomed towards you. All right. And it tricks you into believing that you are in the real world again, that you have escaped the Backrooms, but really you're just in the fake reality. You're just stuck in the fake reality. And it makes you think that you're in the real world. So you think, oh my gosh, I made it. I escaped. But you're not. You're still stuck here. All right. And also pair that with the fact that like, it's just going to make you go insane. Because you can't, there's no way, there's like no known way to escape this level. So once you're here, you are trapped in that false reality. And eventually, you're going to realize it's not a real reality. And you're probably going to go insane because you can't leave the level. You can leave the reality, but you can't leave the level. So you are stuck here. And you'll go insane. And then you will perish due to the insanity. So the quote-unquote end of the Backrooms, you're going to have to go in the F tier, alright? Can't argue with that. That level did, however, mark the end of today's video, and if you enjoyed watching said video and you want to see more, then go ahead and do me a favor and like and subscribe, alright? Helps out the channel, boosts the algorithm, more people see this, you know, all that jazz, you've heard it a million times, alright? But in case you don't do that, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.